What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Superhero Game Squad. Oh, yes. Thank you for that, Ralph.
I am Smash King!
He is a Smash King. He's one of the Smash Kings, I'm not gonna lie. But hey, I wanted to talk about the graphics of Super Mario Odyssey. I know it is a beautiful game. It is a very beautiful world to explore. Mario looks amazing. Mario looks clean. There's some controversy with Mario having one gray hair, which is really weird and interesting. But I kind of wanted to take a look back at some of the older Mario games. I kind of picked a bunch of Mario games, about 15 of them. There's no rhyme or reason to what I picked. And I just kind of wanted to look at Mario and the graphics of him and the way he's evolved through time and kind of give my little 2 cents about what I think and yeah, the way he looks. So let's get into it. Alright, the first one I'm going to go with is kind of the main classic, which is Super Mario Bros. On the NES, which came out in 1985. Now this is kind of like, I feel like the everyman's Mario, as far as like anybody in the world, when you say Mario Bros, whether it's like a kid or maybe like a grandma or an adult that's like in their 40s, I feel like if you showed them a picture of this is kind of like the definitive Mario Bros that they remember, that they might think of when they hear the word Mario. I like the graphics, but I have to say Mario himself is kind of bland in my personal opinion. Yes, it's amazing. It's what started the real hype for Mario, so it definitely earns its place as amazing, and visually it's kind of, I think, like I said, the big timestamp for everybody in Mario history. So it's good. He looks good, and it's the one that everyone's gonna remember, whether no matter who you show, that's kind of a definitive Mario. The next one, Super Mario Bros. 2. One of my favorite Mario games ever, and I think this one's cool because obviously I know it came from a game called Doki Doki Panic in Japan, and they transferred over to Mario Bros. 2, which brought along a different graphic style, which I think is cool. It's more of a rounded edged Mario game than the hard edge pixels that we were used to, or that really kind of was a staple for Nintendo. Yeah, he was a little more round, but I liked it. I feel like the game, it made Mario kind of stick out a little bit, some outlining around certain parts of the game where it kind of separated him from the background. So that was nice. So I think Super Mario Bros. 2 did a good job, even though it was transferred over from Doki Doki Panic in Japan. So it was kind of a different breed, but it was good. I think it looks nice. Super Mario Bros. 3, which came out in 1990 in North America. That is, in my opinion, of the Nintendo Mario games, a better version, a little bit brighter, a little bit more stand-outish than the Mario Bros. 1. It has the same graphic styling, same vibes as Super Mario Bros. 1, but I feel like way better use of the NES colors, way better use of the palette, making everything stick out more. And in the Nintendo world, NES, it's a close tie of which graphic styling I like better between Super Mario Bros. 2 and Super Mario Bros. 3. The next one, Super Mario World, 1991 on the Super Nintendo. Probably, most people would say the best Mario game out there. Maybe. Not a lot of people are holding that same tune anymore now that Odyssey came out, but beautiful graphics. As far as retro, for sure, there is no question that Super Mario World is the definitive beautiful graphics. Mario looks amazing. It's like my favorite. Everything pops out. Everything's bold. Mario just sticks out like no other. It's, I think, a really beautiful progress from Nintendo to Super Nintendo, and I think it's one of the best out there. Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island, taking some really crazy creative freedom and going with a more drawing, illustration, artistry type of Mario. Obviously Mario is a baby and he cries a lot, but I think as far as visual presentation, it's pretty darn awesome, pretty darn unique. I myself wasn't used to something like this. This was more like a virtual coloring book coming to life, and I thought it's beautiful. I know a lot of people agree with at least the visuals on the game. Next one, Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars, 1993 on the Super Nintendo. Awesome change up. Nintendo working with Squaresoft, what a bold move, but the graphics were a bold move as well. Also the view of Mario, you see him from a top-down isometric view, which was a huge change, a huge risk. The characters look a little more silicone-y. They don't have at all the same vibes that anybody was used to in Mario, but I think it is awesome, and it probably helps that the game was awesome as well. Ooh, the next one, Mario Clash, 1995 on the Virtual Boy. The Virtual Boy was obviously limited to 2 colors, black and red, which made the game look a little whack, if we're honest. Mario himself as a sprite, as a character, still looks good, but obviously with the backgrounds and the forefront of the game, you can't really tell much of what's going on in the game, and it's probably one of the uglier Mario titles, one of the uglier presentations we've ever had of Mario. But I mean, it's what they had, so I mean, maybe it would have looked better if we had a whole different color scheme, which I'm sure it would have, but oh well. Super Mario 64, Polygon Mario come to life. I know a lot of people that say the Nintendo 64 graphics don't hold up to the standards of today. If you go back and play it, that they say you'll be let down. I kind of disagree with Super Mario 64. I think it's still a beautiful game. I think they did a great job introducing Mario into the 3D world. Mario in the intro screen when you got to play with his face, I think was a really fun, unique way to show us that Mario is now 3D. I love it. Paper Mario, this one came out in 2000, the year 2000 on the Nintendo 64. I know there's a bunch of Paper Mario games, but really we can look at any of them because they all kind of stick with the same style. I think it's super cool, the stickers, how they're just like little moving flat pieces of paper was a brilliant move. I am also a huge fan of super cartoony. I love it. I love the style. I love the bold outlines in the characters. It really makes them stick out from the background. Super Mario Sunshine in 2002, I didn't get to play as much as I would have liked when I was younger. I'm not one of those people that says I don't like it. I just kind of have a medium opinion on it. But I've played it before in the past, but I also did have to look up gameplay again because it's been so long since I've really dove into it. And I like it. You know, it's between that looks like the game's getting HD, but without being HD era. And I think they did a good job for what they were given. Next, Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. Those are awesome. I feel like Nintendo 64 Mario gave me a chance of freedom, and I felt like I was able to explore a lot and got into the game. But once we got into Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, I feel like that's when I was really feeling like, whoa, this is vast and this is beautiful. And it's also right before the jump to HD as well. But I think that they made me feel like it was a more HD graphics because of how in much of the environment you can move around and how the lighting effects with all the different galaxies, I think just kind of made the game seem like more beautifully vibrant and beautifully presentable than most games that aren't HD, so it was good. Super Mario Bros. Wii, and there's a Super Mario Bros. Wii U version also. The one on the Wii came out in 2009, but I love this graphic styling. I know some people were a little worried, like, hey, we're going back to the 2D side-scrolling with this Mario, but I think that it was done right, and it still looks good. It looks nice. I feel like they did a good enough job of making it feel unique and new without feeling too new and too out of experienced with other side-scrolling Mario games. Also with the 4-player, I know that doesn't have to do with the graphics, but I think it made the game extremely fun. Super Mario 3D World, or as my kids call, Super Cat Mario. Cool graphics. It's interesting because I played the game and I liked the graphics a lot, but then playing Mario Odyssey recently and then going back to playing this, which I did play yesterday to collect some more stars, I didn't like the graphics as much. I know that's unfair because I was playing Super Mario Odyssey, then I went right back to this and was like, these weren't as good as I thought. But you know, I do agree that the game took us to a lot of different places and a lot of different worlds, but they were able to keep a lot of the same aesthetics of the game, of a lot of the different worlds. I know in Super Mario Odyssey, when you go to some of the other worlds, it almost seems like it's a completely different game, which can be good or bad depending on your opinion. But I feel like this game, you knew you were in the same game no matter what land you went to. So I think it was interesting, and the developers did a good job. Super Mario Maker, which came out in 2015 on the Wii U. Now this, one of the biggest examples in my opinion of creators being creative. Taking every Mario game ever and basically giving every kid their childhood dream, saying, hey, we know you love Mario on the NES, the Super Nintendo, the Wii, the Wii U, but we're gonna give you the option to create your own levels. I know games like Tony Hawk back in the day, when I could create my own levels, I thought it was the coolest thing in the world, and now taking one of the most popular characters in the entire world, not just in gaming, but letting gamers create their own world was one of the most brilliant things ever. And I love that the NES games have that like drop shadow on the characters, and it really just brings the games to keeping 100% that old school look, 1000%, but just adding that HD touch onto it, but doing it right and not making it seem too cheesy or too out of the Mario universe. It sticks in and it locks in with what Mario is, but just giving you that clean look. If you know somebody who's never played Mario and you want to introduce them to the originals, maybe shoot them to Mario Maker and throw them a couple fun levels of the NES version just at first, so they might not get turned off. Unless you're just trying to build into them what retro was and retro is, and I definitely agree, give them the original. And the last set I'm gonna go with is the one that got me wanting to talk about. This is obviously Super Mario Odyssey, which came out in 2017 this year on the Switch. Perfect execution in my opinion. And last night I beat the game finally. Yes, I finally beat it last night. Being on the moon and just looking at some of the angles and the reflections of the moon coming off the Earth was kind of insane, kind of overwhelming. Something that I never thought I would see in a Mario Brothers game, but I saw it and it was amazing. This doesn't have to do with the gameplay technically, if we like the games or not. So I want to know what you guys think. What are some games that you liked in Mario? What are some of your favorite graphic stylings in Mario? But let me know what you guys think, and thanks for all the support. That's it. Hey guys, say bye.
Bye.
All of you. All of you. Go.
Bye.
I got one bye.
Bye.
Mark.
Bye.
Carlos.
Bye.
Lil Cuz.
See ya.
Ralph. Huh? Mike.
It's a me.
Lateef. Oh wow. This is let's just say when Mario puts on a
Send the
sombrero.
video already.
Okay, bye!